Welcome to Beyond the Hourglass, where time bends, reality blurs, and your mind gets exposed for the liar it is. You think you see the world as it is? Think again. Your brain twists memories, warps logic, and builds illusions so convincing you'd swear they were real. Get ready to shatter everything you thought you knew, because the truth is far stranger than fiction. Welcome to the Deception Factory, where your mind plays tricks on you and you don't even notice. Your brain is a master manipulator, bending reality to fit its own version of the truth. You think you're in control? Think again. From false memories to twisted logic, your mind is constantly distorting what you see, feel, and believe. This book rips the mask off those hidden biases and illusions, exposing the shocking science of self-deception. Why do we cling to bad ideas? Why do we trust liars? Why do we trick ourselves? Get ready to question everything, because once you see the truth, there's no going back. Your brain is a spin doctor, twisting facts, rewriting history, and making you believe your own nonsense. It doesn't care about truth. It cares about survival, even if that means lying straight to your face. Ever argue with someone who was obviously wrong, but they refuse to admit it? That's not just stubbornness, that's your brain protecting its fragile ego. Your mind edits memories like a bad Hollywood sequel, cutting out the boring parts and adding drama that never happened. You swear you remember things exactly as they were, except you don't. That time you knew something but were completely wrong. Your brain tricked you, and it'll do it again. The "I'm always right" illusion keeps us defending dumb ideas, even when the facts say otherwise. We convince ourselves we're smarter than we are, better than average, and totally unbiased. Spoiler, we're not. Why do we lie to ourselves so easily? Because the truth is uncomfortable, and our brains hate being uncomfortable. The worst part? You can't always tell when it's happening. Your mind is constantly spinning the truth. So the real question is, how much of your life is just a story you've told yourself? The grand illusion, your reality is fake. Your brain isn't a camera. It's a full-time special effects studio, editing and distorting everything you see. You don't experience the world as it is. You experience a version your brain made up. Think optical illusions are cool? That's just a tiny glitch in a system that deceives you all the time. You have a literal blind spot in your vision, and your brain fills in the gaps without telling you. Magicians, politicians, and advertisers don't have superpowers. They just know how to hijack your brain's weaknesses. Your mind makes up stories, edits out details, and convinces you it's all real. Ever swear you saw something one way, only to realize later you were completely wrong? That's your brain rewriting reality in real time. It tricks you into thinking you're objective, but you're walking around in a customized fantasy world. Even your memories are unreliable. Half of what you remember probably never happened the way you think. So, if you can't even trust your own eyes and mind, what can you trust? The only way to see the truth is to first admit you've been living in a beautifully crafted lie. Lies we tell ourselves and believe. I'm a good person. Are you? Let's test that. Your brain is a master at rewriting history, especially your history. You forget the times you messed up, downplay your bad choices, and exaggerate your best moments. Ever notice how other people are biased, but you think you're the exception? Spoiler, you're not. We twist the truth to protect our ego, even when it hurts us in the long run. Maybe you weren't totally honest, but you had a good reason, right? That's just another excuse wrapped in self-deception. The scariest part? Your brain makes these edits without your permission. It erases guilt, shifts blame, and convinces you that you're the hero of your own story. But what happens when these lies pile up? Relationships break, regrets grow, and the truth hits harder than ever. Self-deception feels safe until it backfires. So, are you really who you think you are? Or just a version your brain wants you to believe? The confidence con. The less you know, the more certain you feel. And that's a dangerous combo. Dumb people walk around convinced they're geniuses, while smart people second-guess themselves into silence. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect in action, where the clueless shout the loudest and the informed hesitate. Ever met someone who had no idea what they were talking about but spoke like an authority? Yeah, we all have. The internet is packed with fake experts, keyboard warriors, and self-proclaimed gurus who thrive on confidence, not competence. Why do we trust them? Because we mistake arrogance for intelligence. Your gut feeling tells you it's right, but is it actually a sharp instinct or just mental laziness? Sometimes it's genius, sometimes it's a glorified guess, and sometimes it's just straight up wrong. The problem? Our brains love shortcuts, and confidence looks like a shortcut to truth. So we trust the wrong people, ignore the right ones, and end up believing nonsense. True wisdom isn't about being sure, it's about knowing when to question yourself. And if you never doubt yourself, well, that might just be your first mistake. How your brain cheats at thinking. Thinking is hard, and your brain is lazy. Instead of analyzing facts, it grabs the easiest, fastest answer, even if it's wrong. It loves shortcuts, also known as heuristics, which help you make quick decisions, but also lead you straight into stupidity. Ever wonder why people panic over sharks but ignore the fact that toasters kill more people? That's the availability bias. Your brain overreacts to whatever feels scarier, not what's riskier. It assumes the loudest, most shocking information is the most important, even when it's nonsense. That's why clickbait headlines and fake news spread faster than the truth. Arguing online? Pointless. No one's changing their mind. Everyone's just doubling down on their biases. Your brain would rather defend a bad opinion than admit it was wrong. It takes mental effort to challenge your own beliefs, and honestly, most people just don't bother. That's how we end up believing garbage, trusting con artists, and making terrible decisions. The worst part? We think we're logical the whole time. Want to outsmart your own brain? Start questioning everything, especially the things you're sure are true. Memory malfunctions. Your past is a lie. Your memories are not accurate. Let that sink in. You think your brain records life like a camera? Nope. It's more like a bad film editor, cutting, twisting, and straight up inventing scenes. Ever swear you know something happened a certain way, only to find out you were completely wrong? Welcome to the Mandela effect, where entire groups of people misremember history. From movie quotes that never existed to events that didn't go down the way you remember, your brain fills in the blanks with fiction. That's why eyewitness testimony is mostly garbage. People don't recall facts, they recall feelings. Your mind smooths out the messy bits, erases details that don't fit, and adds drama where there was none. It's not lying on purpose, it just wants your life to make sense. That embarrassing moment you replay at night? It probably didn't happen the way you think. Your brain tweaks memories to protect your ego, justify bad choices, and make you look better in your own story. The scariest part? You believe these false memories with absolute confidence. So, if you can't even trust your own past, what else has your brain been lying about? It tweaks memories to protect your ego, justify bad choices, and make you look better in your own story. The scariest part? You believe these false memories with absolute confidence. So, if you can't even trust your own past, Groupthink, the madness of crowds. Ever watch smart people do dumb things just because everyone else is doing it? That's not an accident. It's your brain's desperate need to fit in, even at the cost of logic. The Ash conformity experiment proved it. Peer pressure literally rewires your brain to agree with the crowd, even when you know they're wrong. Your mind values belonging over truth, so if the group jumps off a cliff, you just might follow. That's how cults, political movements, and fandoms hijack human minds, by convincing people that thinking differently is dangerous. We'd rather be wrong together than right alone because isolation feels like death to our tribal brains. Ever change your opinion just to avoid an argument? That's your brain keeping you safe by making you blend in. Social media makes it even worse. One viral opinion spreads like wildfire, and suddenly, questioning it feels like a crime. Why do we fall for it? Because standing alone takes guts, and your brain hates feeling like an outcast. But here's the real danger. When everyone blindly follows, no one thinks for themselves. History's worst mistakes weren't made by evil masterminds. They were made by regular people too afraid to question the herd. So, next time the crowd moves in one direction, ask yourself, are you thinking or just following? The myth of the rational mind. You think you make decisions based on logic? Ha! Your brain is just making stuff up as it goes. It cherry picks information, twists reality, and convinces you that you're totally being rational. Ever notice how you only pay attention to things that support what you already believe? That's confirmation bias. Your brain filtering out anything that proves you wrong. When facts don't fit your opinions, do you change your mind? Number. You just bend the facts or double down harder. That's cognitive dissonance, your brain's desperate attempt to justify bad decisions so you don't feel stupid. You'd rather explain away mistakes than admit you were wrong. And guess what? Everyone does this, even the so-called smart people. That's why arguing with someone who refuses to budge is a total waste of energy. It's not that they won't change their mind, it's that their brain won't let them. Logic should be a superpower, but instead, it's just another illusion. So, if you're so sure you're right, maybe ask yourself, what if I'm not? Because the truth is, your mind isn't built for reality. It's built for winning arguments with itself. Can you escape the lies? Good news. You've been lied to by your own brain your entire life. The better news? Now you can fight back. The first step, stop believing every thought you have. Just because it feels true doesn't mean it is. Want to break free from mental traps? Start fact-checking your own mind the same way you fact-check shady news articles. Ask yourself, is this real or just something I want to believe? Your biases aren't going anywhere, but you can outsmart them. Skepticism is your secret weapon. Question everything, especially the stuff that makes you feel right. But be careful. Fall too deep, and skepticism turns into cynicism, which is just another way your brain tricks you. Doubting everything isn't wisdom. It's just a fancier form of ignorance. The goal isn't to believe nothing. It's to believe in what actually holds up under scrutiny. Truth isn't always comfortable, but it's the only way to stop living in a mental illusion. So the real question is, do you actually want to know the truth? Or is your brain too comfortable with the lies? Final thoughts. The truth about lies. Congratulations. You've just uncovered the fact that your brain is a beautifully broken mess. You will never see the world the same way again, because now you know the truth is always a little distorted. Your mind will keep lying, twisting, and convincing you of things that aren't real. But now, you have the power to question it. Think smarter. Challenge everything. Never settle for easy answers. Curiosity is your best defense against deception, so stay sharp. If you enjoyed having your reality shattered, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And remember, the biggest lie of all is thinking you aren't falling for one.